Okay, this is the revised portion of lecture number six. Basically, what happened in lecture number six was that from minute 2 to 14 minute 28 second, basically my voice was about lecture number six, but the video was showing the slides of lecture number four. So basically, I switched between lecture six, lecture four, and lecture three. So I changed slides many times. So what happened that there was a missing of slide show share on Zoom. So basically, I am preparing this portion of the lecture just to cover the portion from minute 2 to minute 14.28, so that you can basically understand this lecture better, because my voice was basically about lecture number 6 in that video, but you was not watching the slide of lecture number 6 in that video. The slide was of lecture number 4. So we can record that portion again. So what is basically here overlap? First of all, overlap is the effect of source inductance in single phase controlled bridge rectifier. So first of all, figure below shows a single phase fully controlled converter with source inductance. You can see this single phase fully controlled converter. T1 and T2 conduct at same time at omega t is equal to alpha, and T4 and T3 conduct at same time at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. So for simplicity, it has been assumed that converter operates in the continuous conduction mode, means that this converter has continuous current. There is no break in between the load current. Further, it has been assumed that the load current ripple is negligible. There is no ripples in the load current. So now, starting from its operation, it is assumed that thyristor T3 and T4 were conducting at t is equal to 0. We can go to waveform at. It is assumed that at t is equal to 0, thyristor T3 and T4 were conducting, and this voltage was because of T3 and T4. So what happened now, coming back to lecture, thus the T1 and T2 were fired at omega t is equal to alpha. So if there was no source inductance, T3 and T4 would have commutated as soon as T1 and T2 are turned on. So as soon as T1 and T2 were fired at omega t is equal to alpha, T3 and T4, which were already conducting, they should have switched off immediately. But what happens is that due to load source inductance, for some portion of the time, all four thyristors conduct at the same time. Basically, T3 and T4 does not turn off at omega t is equal to alpha, and they keep on conducting for this angle mu. So for this shaded portion, all four thyristors conduct at same time, and this is called overlap. So coming back to our, the input current polarity would have changed instantaneously. However, if the source inductance is present, the commutation and change of input current polarity cannot be instantaneous. Therefore, when T1 and T2 are turned on, T3 and T4 does not commutate immediately. Instead, for some interval, all four thyristors continue to conduct, as shown in figure 2.14. This interval is called overlap interval. So basically, here we have defined what is overlap. So at omega t is equal to alpha, T1 and T2 were fired, and before this period, T3 and T4 were conducting. So as soon as T1 and T2 were fired at omega t is equal to alpha here, T3 and T4 should have turned off immediately. But due to source inductance, they do not turn off. They do not turn off immediately, and for this angle mu, this shaded portion, all four thyristors uh, conduct at same time, and this phenomenon is called overlap. Why we call it overlap? Basically, the conduction of T3 and T4 and the conduction of T1 and T2 overlap for this portion of time. So that's why we call it overlap. Okay. Now where you can see this diagram of uh, single phase full wave bridge rectifier which has source inductance. This is II, this is the input current, VI is the input voltage, L is the source inductance, T1 and T2 thyristors, they conduct at same time. T4, this is T3 and this is T4, they conduct at same time. This is V naught output voltage and this is I naught output current. Okay, now we can explain these waveforms again. Vi waveform is this sine wave is basically the input voltage waveform, and Ii is the waveform of input current, which is the non-sinusoidal current which this converter is drawing. So the input current Ii, this portion is negative I naught. He has mentioned I naught here. The negative peak is minus I naught, and the positive peak, this one is plus I naught. Okay. So here he has mentioned this one is angle alpha, and this is overlap angle mu, and what is this is pi plus alpha, the next cycle, and these two are T3 and T4. Basically, this portion of the waveform he has shown that which thyristor is conducting. So in this portion, T3 and T4 are conducting, and in this portion there is overlap, and in this portion T1 and T2 are conducting. And this is a waveform of output voltage. Output voltage, you can see that basically this portion of the waveform shows the overlap, and during this voltage the output voltage is zero. So there is no voltage in this shaded portion of output voltage. So output voltage will be without this portion. And this is voltage across thyristor T1. We have already discussed this many times that when thyristor T1 is off, thyristor T1 is off in this period. So in this portion, the voltage across thyristor will appear. The voltage of input voltage will appear across thyristor. So T1 is off here, and then T1 is off in this portion. So when the thyristor T1 is off, the input voltage will appear across thyristor. Okay, next, he has explained the process of overlap in these 3 points. So we will discuss these 3 points one by one. During overlap interval, the load current freewheels through the thyristors and the output voltage is clamped to zero. On the other hand, the input current starts changing polarity as the current through T1 and T2 increases and T3 and T4 decreases. At the end of overlap interval, the current through T3 and T4 becomes zero, and they commutate, and T1 and T2 starts conducting full load current. So what happens basically is during this overlap period, currents basically freewheels between all four thyristors, but as T3 and T4 are turning off and T1 and T2 are turning on, so during this overlap period, the current through T3 and T4, these are T3, this is T4 and this is T3. So current in T3 and T4 will basically reduce, and current through T1 and T2 will increase. At the end of, as soon as this overlap period ends here, basically at this portion here, in this shaded portion, the current through T3 and T4 becomes zero, and then the whole load current will be beared by thyristor T1 and T2. Okay, in next point, the same process repeats during the commutation from T1 to T2 to T3 and T4 at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Coming back to waveform, basically at this point during this portion T1 and T2 are conducting. So when pi plus alpha comes, this is pi plus alpha, here labeled it here, this is pi plus alpha. At pi plus alpha, T3 and T4 are again fired here, and again T1 and T2 should have turned off immediately as soon as T3 and T4 are fired. But what happens that again, due to this same phenomena which is happening here, this T1 and T2 do not commutate or do not turn off immediately, and for this overlap period, all four thyristors again conduct at same time, and this overlap happens again. So this is a repetitive portion. It happens at each firing of pair of thyristors. So at each time a pair of thyristors is fired, the previous portion of a pair of thyristors do not commutate immediately. So this portion will, this overlap will happen again at pi plus alpha. Okay, it is clear that commutation overlap not only reduces the average output DC voltage, but also reduces the extinction angle gamma, which may cause failure in the inverting mode of operation if alpha is very close to 180. So what happens due to overlap that, first of all, you can say that during this shaded portion, you have zero output voltage. So overlap first, the first effect of overlap is that your output DC voltage is reduced, and the second effect is that this angle gamma, basically gamma is the angle for which uh, your pair of thyristor is turned on. So this gamma extension angle, this will also reduce. The more the overlap, the less will be the extension angle. So due to overlap, your gamma angle or extension angle will also reduce, and this problem will get serious if alpha is equal to 180 in inversion mode. So in that point, your gamma will basically go to zero. Okay. In the following analysis, an expression of overlap angle mu will be determined from the equivalent circuit of the converter during overlap period. So what is happening in next page, basically on next page is not basically he's not driving an uh, equation for overlap angle. Basically, what he's doing that he is driving an equation which will give you the drop in output voltage due to overlap. So if you see this highlighted portion of the equation, this is the equation for output voltage, output mean DC voltage. The first portion of this voltage 2 under root 2 Vi cos alpha over pi. This is basically the voltage without overlap. This is the voltage without overlap. So since there is source inductance and there is overlap, so this portion of the this part of the voltage will be subtracted from this voltage without overlap. So your net voltage which will be available at output will be equal to this 2 under root 2 Vi cos alpha over pi minus 2 over pi omega L I naught. So if you see lecture number 4, you can see that we basically defined our V naught or VDC or V mean voltage as 2 V bar cos alpha over pi in our bridge rectifier with RL load. So basically this is the same voltage. Why this is the same voltage? Because under root 2 Vi is equal to V maximum or V bar. So this is 2 V bar cos alpha over pi. So in this on this page he is basically deriving this equation, and at the start of this page he will start to explain how we can basically come to the conclusion that the drop due to overlap is equal to this voltage, and how we derive this equation. So up to here, I am covering this video. Now you can go back to the original video lecture number 6 at 14 minute 28 seconds, and at 14 minute 28 seconds, you can continue watching this lecture till the end. Okay, thank you.